Okay,
Anyway.
so I guess we should start now.
Yes. And this is episode 3, right?
Probably.
Probably. We have, of course, planned all of this in advance. I'm going to splice this halfway through episode 2. We just change outfits suddenly. And it's like, no, this is the same.
Like halfway through telling a story.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to read this story and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, welcome to the Love Twitches podcast.
You're doing so good.
The Love Twitches podcast, where 2 single Twitch streamer ladies answer all of your dating and relationship questions and discuss topics in themed episodes, particularly in regards to dating on Twitch. I am Nova Lisi. You can call me Nova.
And I'm Bread Witchery. I go by Harley. I'm Bread Witchery on all social medias, and I'm pretty sure you're Nova on all social medias too, right?
Nova Lisi on all.
Nova Lisi, sorry, yeah. Imagine if you managed to square off the username Nova. That is huge energy.
I think PBS has that.
Square up PBS. We got some branding issues to sort out here. Come on.
Don't donate to PBS. Tip to me.
Yeah, we're gonna bring them down.
So tonight we have some interesting stories.
We do.
I am actually super duper excited.
Someone called John Wick wrote in, so I'm excited.
And it's a good one.
Oh, is it? I haven't seen this one actually. Okay, I'm gonna.
Don't read it until we get to it.
Okay, all right, it's fine.
So I went through and I read all of these submissions and picked out ones for us to answer today. We still have more. We have gotten a lot of submissions, and that just makes me really happy.
Wait, more than what we're reading today?
Yeah, like we're
really?
like all of the ones that we've read on our last 2 episodes and today still does not cover every single submission that we have gotten.
We love you. We're here to help.
Yeah. So there's a couple of them that are not super duper like time sensitive. And those ones I think we're going to cover in entire episodes by themselves. Yeah. So
if it's a question that fits a theme that we have in mind, for example, dating as a sex worker, or that kind of thing, we're probably saving it for a episode that's themed around that. Especially that way we'll be able to have a guest who knows more about that than we do, because neither of us are sex workers. So just be able to contribute a bit better, basically.
Perfect. So.
Oh, and today
we have.
Yes, I think you're about to say what I was about to say, so go for it. It's fine.
You say it. No, you say it.
I was gonna say today, the submissions that we're reading are Bird Person, Big Booty Rudy, The New Yorker, Gay Big Bird, John Wick, Sad Bean I'm Scared. Same. Dumpling and Clumsy Crusher. So if you're one of those people, this is your episode. So get excited. We're gonna help.
I'm so excited to jump into this. And also everyone who has thinking about submitting and everyone who has submitted, I so appreciate you all for trusting us with your stories and trusting our opinions and
taking the time to write everything out. I hope it helps even a little bit, just being able to vent it out and just sort of explain it. I know I would really appreciate that. Like if I could write into our podcast, I would, but I absolutely couldn't, because Nova would be like,
I've been thinking about it. I might submit something and then be like, oh, Harley, you're going to read this story.
Yeah, Harley, what do you have to say to this person?
Definitely not Nova.
Yeah, no, not at all. I'm just wondering if anyone's ever going to submit anything about us. That would be not saying us by name, but imagine if there's someone out there who has a huge crush on one of us and they write in about us and we're like, yeah, ask her out, go for it. And then they come to us and they're like, well, you told me to ask you out, and then we just start crying.
If my crush did that, I think that I would shit my pants.
If my crush did that, I'd be so flattered. I'd be like, first of all, they watched the podcast, and second of all, they wrote in.
I also would like to disclaimer that my crush knows they're my crush. So if you do not realize, don't think we're talking about you if you're not already.
Mine doesn't, so it could be any of you. It could be you, listener.
Just go for it.
Just shoot your shot.
Just go. We're off to a great start.
We are. One second. I have to just close my window really quick. Okay, I just closed my window, and we definitely didn't end up talking for 5 minutes by accident. Okay.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, Harley, you're gonna read this one first.
Okay, gotcha. So this is from Bird Person, and Bird Person writes in saying, I, 20M, have had a crush on my sister's best friend, 18F. I appreciate the ages. This is very R//relationships. I like that. We used to talk when we were in high school, and shortly after I graduated 3 years ago, and I want to get back to talking with her. She's not really into nerdy stuff, and that's all I've been doing for the past 2.5 years. I don't want to make it seem like I'm being weird or creepy by forcing a conversation, but I don't know how to naturally get one started. Any help would be appreciated. Well, thank you for writing in, Bird Person. Nova?
So right away, there's a few different things that I would like to cover with this one specifically.
I don't have any siblings, so I have like, if that's like a thing that you want to bring up, I know nothing about the etiquette of that.
Sorry, me and my siblings are far enough in like we're all like 4 years apart basically.
Oh, okay.
So like I wasn't really like I wasn't friends with their friends.
And stuff. Okay.
So I can't comment on that. That might be like a whole can of worms though.
I read the Princess Diaries when I was younger, and I watched the film. And if Princess Diaries is anything to go by, I think it's a bit awkward when you like a sister's friend, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that can be kind of weird. Sorry if you hear my cats meowing in the background.
No! Thank you! They know it's a bird person around. They're going to attack. So
first I want to talk about like which one do I want to dive into first? Okay, because there's two different aspects of this. There's like they're concerned that like this girl isn't going to like be into them because they're into different things. Like they have different like areas of interest.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also like the like how do you just like talk to someone that you know that you want to like start talking to again?
Yeah,
you know? There's
like how you like reignite the conversation or whatever. If that makes sense. Yeah, I think he's also from the sounds of it, he's kind of worried that like he doesn't know what to talk to her about. Like the nerdy stuff is like one of the blocks. He doesn't know what to talk to her about because he's like, well, most of my interest is going to be like nerdy stuff, and like I can't talk to her about
it. My opinion on that is I personally love dating people who have different interests than me. I like, for example, like I don't know anything about sports. I called the Harlem Globetrotters the Harlem Harlequins the other day.
Wait, the other day?
Like on stream, and now everyone.
I think they're a basketball team, are they?
Yeah.
I know this only from Futurama, so.
I was so like everyone makes fun of me for it, so it's like I don't know anything about sports. Okay, I'm completely talking out of my ass anytime I'm talking about sports. But I love dating people who are into sports. Most of the people that I have like had great relationships or have dated and had really like fun times with were all like sports people who were like really into sports, and so and that's like an example because I love talking to someone about something that I don't know.
I will say I do really enjoy listening to people like. Personally, I'm not quite same as Nova. I like dating people who I have the same interests with. It's really important to me. But like hearing someone explain something to me that I don't know anything about, I love that a lot. To be honest, so hopefully,
especially if they're super into it.
Yeah, I just love hearing people talk about stuff that they care about. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
like it's just exactly. Nice. It's really interesting. I get to learn.
I just think it's like I personally think it's cute. I don't know if my partners think it's cute or annoying, but like when like if you go to a basketball game and you're like, wait, what's happening now? What's happening now? And they get to like explain what's happening.
You know, there are some guys who hate that. Oh my god, I hate that. Just this is so off topic, but that reminds me of guys who are like, I fucking hate when I go to the cinema and the girl just keeps being like, oh, who's that character? Oh, what's going on? I don't know. We're both watching it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure she's just like live commentating her thoughts. Like, I don't think she's genuinely asking.
But also,
you.
Don't do that in the movie theater.
Oh, you don't talk during movies? I talk during movies. Not tons, but I talk. Okay.
Like at the movie theater?
Well, yeah. If I'm like, if not, like, if it's not like a Crown movie theater, I'll like whisper to the person next to me.
Oh my god, I have definitely shushed you in a movie theater before. I will shush.
No,
I will be like,
when I'm on a movie date, I'm in the back corner.
I've almost thrown hands. Oh sorry, what was that?
When I'm in a movie theater, I'm in the back corner like snogging, so you wouldn't have seen me. I'm getting down and dirty.
I haven't done that since like high school, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. We had a good time. Anyway, bird person. Way to reignite conversation. So the whole like being into nerdy stuff part isn't like a huge obstacle. I feel like it definitely, if that was like all you were talking to her about and she obviously wasn't interested, that would probably give off the vibe of like her thinking you're just talking to like hear the sound of your own voice kind of. Yeah, like checking on like how she's been doing and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when she
ask about her interests, talk to her about her interests.
Yeah, and if you've been doing a lot of nerdy stuff, like if you're streaming or gaming recently or whatever, she'll probably ask you like what you've been up to, and then you can explain that. And even if she doesn't get it or isn't interested in it, she'll probably be like impressed with like what you've been doing and just like keeping up with your life and that kind of thing. But when it comes to like conversational topics, I'm positive you'll have something in common. The way that I would like, I've never had a thing of like getting back in touch with somebody after a long amount of time, except for weirdly 2 people. One of my tweets went viral, and 2, like an old housemate and an old best friend, messaged me like, "Hey, I remember me?" And I was like, "Oh my god, hi!" And like we reconnected because of that. So either make a tweet go viral, or Better option. Send her a meme or something that genuinely reminds you of her, and send it to her and be like, oh, this made me think of you, and then hopefully a conversation can start from that, or you can keep sending each other memes back and forth. If she doesn't like memes,
especially
dump
if you
her
go way back.
Yeah, if you go way back,
yeah, like you can, like if you go on Facebook and you say, like, I don't use Facebook, but like if you go on Facebook and you like see something about like an old mutual friend, and you can like send it to them and be like, oh my gosh, remember so and so, like they're in jail now, you know, like
gossip is fun. That's the universal like bonding thing is
way
gossip.
to reconnect.
Exactly.
But also I would like to say the power of social media. If she posts on her Instagram stories, reply to those Instagram stories,
even if it's just with an emoji for a bit.
Post.
Like to start like it says that he doesn't want to come off like weird or creepy about like forcing a conversation. I think that might be one of those things where it's like you're more self-conscious of it yourself, and she wouldn't at all think of that. I agree with what Nova's saying of like starting to like comment on her stuff or like her posts like gradually if you only don't like all of them, just comment on some of them.
Don't like go. Have you had like people go through that where they like every single photo on your
don't do that.
Yeah. That comes off a little strong.
But if you want to like ease into it or something, that's totally fine. I don't think you'll come off like weird or creepy. And unfortunately I have absolutely no advice for if you're worried about the whole like sister's friend thing. I've got nothing. I'm an only child. I'm so sorry. I have no idea about the etiquette on that.
I don't know. I like if they're super duper close, you know, she's gonna talk about you to her sister, and so like just know that I think this goes like for any situation, whatever you are talking about with someone that you like your crush, when you're talking to your crush, everything's being reported back to their friends. We talk about everything.
Exposed. You're exposed.
Like, I mean, like...
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. No.
Like, if like one of my crushes like comments on one of my tweets, like I'm gonna fucking screenshot that shit and send it to Harley right away.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Do you have anything else to any lasting comments?
Just good luck. I hope it works out. The age difference thing isn't that big, so it seems fine. Sister's friend seems fine. It's only like 2 years. Yeah, try not to like worry about that too much, and like don't like just remember like you're people and you know each other, and like you've had a crush on her for ages, and like you've been close and that kind of thing. Like just try like think of something that genuinely reminded you of her, send it to her, interact with her social medias more. And if you happen to be in the same, I mean, as quarantine's happening, as I say, like if you're in the same physical space, the next time that you see her in person, if she's hanging out with your sister, just like be nice to her and like talk to her and stuff. But it'll be fine. Try and remove the feeling of being weird or creepy, because you know your own intent, if that makes sense. Like you know you want to start talking to her because you fancy her. So in your head you're like, maybe I'll come off creepy, but like she doesn't know that you fancy her yet. So she's just gonna think that like you're just casually talking to her. Not that she'd be creeped out if you had a crush on her. That's not what I mean. But I mean, like, I think we carry the weight of our own intent too strongly in our mind when we're approaching something, and we blow it up to be bigger than it actually is. But that's just me. So,
100%.
Yeah.
So Bird Person, thank you so much for writing in. We appreciate you. We hope that we helped. We're going to go, and I'm going to read this one, even though it is 4 paragraphs. So, stay with me on this.
It's not that long submissions are bad. It's that if this is your first episode listening in, Nova tragically can't fucking read. So if she manages to get through this whole thing, no stars, I will tip you $10 on your next stream. Like, I believe in you.
I've had so much trouble in school, like reading out loud. I'm not even like dyslexic or anything. I just like I get tongue tied, and I had so much trouble reading out loud. Like when you did like popcorn reading and stuff in school, I had so much trouble with that. And now this is what I chose to do. I put myself through this, so just bear with me, okay?
Wait, hang on.
So this one is from Big Booty Rudy. So Big Booty Rudy, he says, hold on. Sorry, I had to burp.
1 second.
Okay, sorry.
Jeez.
Sorry.
$10. Let's go. Come on, get your cash.
Soda
Let's
makes
go.
me burp. Okay. I'm stupidly in love with a girl, and she's in love with me too. But we have this on and off thing going on. We'd been together a bit, and then she'd call it off, saying she's not ready for a relationship, and then later we'd get back together again, and rinse and repeat for the past 8 months or so. She has mental illnesses like bipolar disorder and depression, among many. And from what she's told me, she doesn't feel like she deserves to be happy. I've tried my best to support her and tell her that she's wonderful and I truly love her for who she is every chance that I get, in the hopes that it will stick in her brain. I've been being very patient and very accommodating to her and her needs. I even let her stay with me in my tiny room that's only marginally larger than a prison cell when she needed a place to stay. I love her so much it kills me that she can't see what a beautiful woman she is. I wish she was as in love with herself as I am with her. I have experience with depression, but not bipolar, and I'm a little bit out of my league here. I don't know if either of you have had experience with either. My current plan is to stick around and be there for her through the ons and offs and be someone who is going to be there for her no matter what. I hope that I can become her rock and be something that she can rely on, and let her guard down around and show her that I won't leave like everyone else. I've been told this is a good plan, but I wanted to see if either of you had advice for me. I love her with all my heart, and honest to God, I'd marry her ass in a heartbeat. I just want to see her happy. Thank you both. So right away, this is a pretty heavy one, and there's a lot of things to consider here, but Harley, I know that you personally have some experience with bipolar disorder, so what are your initial thoughts here?
So just for like context, basically, I mean I think I have bipolar disorder. My dad almost definitely did, and I think I've got something. So I've got some sort of mood swing thing. I haven't been able to get diagnosed for it because the mental health system in England is just not very good with that kind of thing. I've been diagnosed with depression, but I definitely have gone through mania and stuff. It's a lot easier now that I'm vegan, which is very weird and isn't the case for everybody. But I have had very extreme mood swings and stuff, like 2 years ago and stuff. So 2 years ago, for about 4 to 6 years, I've been experiencing like what I thought was bipolar disorder quite severely. So I've got like some vague something here. So I think it's good that, you know, you're recognizing that having experience of depression is helpful, but isn't the same as when you have experience with bipolar disorder, because I think it's very common nowadays for everyone to conflate everything and be like, oh yeah, mental health, you know, like depression and anxiety, and everyone's like, no, like there's more to it. There's more like volatile conditions like bipolar disorder. So I kind of have like two halves to my response with this. So I made some little notesies because this one's quite important to me. And you sound great, Rudy. I'm glad that she's like got you in her life. So when it comes to her saying that she's not ready, like I'll go with the doomer first half. So when she's saying she isn't ready for a relationship, that kind of thing, depending on how like lucid she is when she's saying these things, like, you know, because she could be in like a manic phase or a depressive phase or like a little bit out of it, but if she's quite lucid when she's saying these things, she could be telling the truth. Like it could be that she genuinely isn't ready for a relationship right now, and she's not just self-sabotaging when she pushes you away in this way. Like she could adore you, but like she just could have like a lot on her plate right now, and like trying to be a good girlfriend and that kind of thing could be like a really big stressor for her. So that could be a genuine thing, and like a pressure and that kind of thing. But if all of the breakups are stemming from like she's in the middle of a breakdown, or she's like not quite with it when she's like pushing for it, then maybe all's well and it's fine. But it is something to consider that maybe genuinely she needs to like just work on herself and help herself and that kind of thing, and just have you as like a friend for a bit. It just depends, because like you're saying, like it's on and off for like 8 months, so that's like a doomer thing. That's like a worst case scenario thing, but she could genuinely not be ready for a relationship right now. So that's a thing. But I think it's really good for her to have stability available in you, regardless. And I think it's also good how, you know, the priority here for you is her. Like a lot of there are resources out there for people who are dating people that have bipolar disorder, and I recommend looking them up. But some of the more ones will be very like, and it must be so hard for you to have this horrible sick person inflicted on you, and it's very like yikes. So I'm glad that you're very like aware that like she's, you know, you just seem to love her a lot, and that's really lovely. So I would say when it comes to helping her with like just stuff, to me it helps if you just listen to her, have her communicate exactly what it is that helps when she's in each swing, and like what to look out for and what kind of things to like discourage and that sort of thing. Like personally, this textbook would be like a controlling thing to do, but back when I was very manic, a genuine thing that I considered was like giving my credit cards to my housemates and being like, you need to hold on to these the second that you notice me start spending a lot of money. And then obviously when I would want to spend money, I'd be like, no, give me my credit cards back. And they'd have to be like, we're not going to do that. The police are coming. My credit cards. Oh my God, the fraud, it caught up with me. So obviously in my manic swing, I would hate them for that. But then when I was back to being myself a bit more, I'd be like, that was a good move. I'm glad I did that. So it's good to like establish things that can help in each swing and that kind of thing. Just empathize with her, just basic empathy, just understanding the difficulties of what she goes through. And again, just not making it about yourself when she's having issues, unless of course she's behaving in ways that are like abusive and she's trying to excuse it with her disorder, but it doesn't sound like she ever does that, which is good. And like I said, there is resources out there for people that have bipolar disorder, so that are dating people who have bipolar disorder. And it's also good to read and watch stuff that is about people with bipolar disorder, like by people that have bipolar disorder. There's a book called Madness by Maya Hornbacher that's really good. So yeah, it's good to just not only look at stuff that's for partners, but also for the people themselves, so you can again get an idea of what it is that she's going through. So yeah, that's basically all I gotta say on that. So it was just important to me because it sounds, you're the kind of boyfriend that I wish I had when I was like that. So you know, you sound quite nice. I want to help as best I can because you guys seem cute.
He definitely sounds like a sweetheart, and his heart is in the right place.
He's got a fat ass, big booty Rudy, like heart in the right place,
and Rudy.
Ass in the right weight class.
She's a lucky lady to have you in her life. I don't have bipolar. I don't have experience with bipolar. I do have depression and anxiety, and I've had it, my whole life. But all I want to say is like mental health is a journey that everyone takes, and we all do it in our own way. So just it's hard because like as I was listening to you, my advice is like listen to what they tell you that they need. But with bipolar, it's like it's a little bit trickier because you don't know if they're if they're in their conscious mind. Like,
because obviously mind, like if someone's like when they're in like a very very deep in a swing kind of thing, they still are themselves, and like their consent and their choices should be valued. But if it's like they're like manic spending and they're like, I want to buy all this stuff. No, I want to, I swear I honestly do. And they've told you in the past when they weren't manic, don't let me do that. Then you have to take what they've said when they were in a more, what I'm going to call lucid state, as what to do, basically.
Yeah, and it's hard to be, a partner of someone who is struggling and hasn't found the right balance for themselves, I think, yet, and is still, in the thick of it themselves. So it's a tough balance because, I've definitely had partners who like when I was in depressive, phases of my life where they like desperately wanted to make me happy and they wanted to like fix that.
Yeah, it's not like take it all away kind of thing. And you're like, well, this is my thing, kind of. Like,
exactly.
This is my thing.
And it's like, I appreciate like the support, but they're also, mental health is something that you, for the most part, kind of have to battle on your own. You have to do kind of the heavy lifting on your own. Yeah. But having someone there to hold your hand through that is super helpful. So it's a tough one, but I think that, overall advice is like you're doing the right things. And there's definitely resources for you out there. And like Harley said, read, what was that book again? Madness
by Maya Hornbacher. She has very severe bipolar, and that one I think is bipolar 1. But it's one of the resources that I know of. I can't think of any other representations of bipolar people written by bipolar people in media, but I'm sure if you look into it, they're probably out there.
Yeah, I think learning more about it, as someone who doesn't have it, will go a long way. And that is like the nicest thing.
Yeah, it shows that like you're invested, because like I said, I would have loved that if I was like, because she's obviously making it quite clear to you, and if you're making it clear to someone like, yeah, I have this stuff that I struggle with, and they go and look it up and they come back to you and they don't like explain it to you when you know what you've got, but they obviously have like researched it and they care and are invested. You're like, that's so nice. So
yeah, because it can be hard, like as someone who's like in the thick of it, like it's hard to articulate what you need from your partner as well. It's hard to like have that put on your shoulders, to like have to tell them exactly
every time what you exactly.
So it's nice for someone to go out and find those resources on their own, and look it up for themselves. So you're doing good though. We love you. We believe
hope
in
that
you.
Everything goes well. I like you, we wish that we could just take it away and make it easier for her, but you seem lovely and you guys seem nice, so just keep all that stuff in mind, I guess, and keep doing what you're doing.
And thank you for writing in.
Yeah, thank you for writing in.
It's really nice to be able to talk about these subjects.
Yeah, it was a nice read. I read it and I was like, oh, this is like I personally I was like, oh, I'm glad that I get to like talk on this for a bit. This is nice. So yeah. All right.
Thank you.
So we have the New Yorker. Who says, hang on one sec, actually I'm paranoid. So we have the New Yorker, and he writes in saying, my girlfriend and I have been dating for over 2 years, but recently decided to take a break in the relationship. It's a new feeling for the both of us, and I still don't understand how this works. We both agree that the title of boyfriend and girlfriend don't apply, and we limit how much we talk to one another. The point of the break is because of 2 reasons. Personal priorities like school and financial reasons, and the second reason is our own personal battles, lack of excitement, and communication. I really don't know much about breaks, so I really need help. So hopefully we can help you where we can. I can understand it must be really like scary to be in this new territory kind of thing. Do you have any experience with breaks in relationships, Nova?
So
you can tell the truth. It's okay.
I don't. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't really believe in breaks. I think personally, I don't think I've ever heard or seen or been part of a break that somehow fixed the relationship in some way. I personally feel that breaks, especially like something like this, like for the reasons that he described, it seems like it's a breakup without committing to a breakup.
Yeah,
you know?
like
without just being like, okay, we're broken up now.
Yeah.
You're like still clinging on to something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have experience with breaks in relationships. I've always seen a break as just like a prelim to breaking up, or like an excuse to not say that. But like, I don't know. So, but I let me just double check my notes and all that jazz. But I'm pretty sure I want to approach this on a positive sort of way. I want to give you some positive feedback as well as that. So let me see if I can find it. But Nova, take it away.
Yeah, I can. So on the topic of the reasons why they're taking this break, I think that if it was a break like in terms of reprioritizing where you're spending your time, like being like, hey, like like finals week is happening. I need to really focus on my schoolwork right now. So like I can't go on a date with you. I can't really talk to you that much. Like we can't do that for right now for like the next 2 weeks while I'm like focusing completely on school or work or whatever. That I think is like really understandable.
But also you can do that while still calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but like the whole like lack of excitement and communication, that tells me that y'all just might not be compatible anymore, and maybe your relationship has run your course.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a thing of because I remember we were saying well, actually, we told that person to break up with them as well. I was about to say yesterday we had a communication question. No, so like what I would say is
communication's so important
it's
in
very
a relationship
important.
though.
Yeah,
because if you don't get it right, or you don't have the right vibe with someone, if you can't like if you don't have like similar styles of communication, I think where you can understand and empathize with each other and get what each other is saying, I think it can be like
roadblocks constantly.
Yeah. You'll constantly be having issues and miscommunications.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is the vibe that I get a little bit, if we're looking at it a little bit optimistically, okay, we're getting optimistic, looking happy vibes. Nova's like, dump them. No, is
I told you I'm the first person to say dump
cold.
them.
Oh, it's a cat. Everybody say hi to
the gear is jumping up.
The gear is looking beautiful.
People listening right now and not.
Oh
watching
yeah, if you're not watching us on YouTube. Sucks to suck, I guess. Get the timestamp ready of just like, this is when Big Ear is on the screen. So, what was I going to say? Right, so it might be that there's communication issues, right, and lack of excitement. And these are things that you could deal with and could talk through and figure out. It's just that you also have the financial and school stuff going on. So you're like, I can't juggle all of these balls at the same time. So I'm just going to like not. And then once the one fire has been put out, I can put out the other fire. If that makes sense. That's how I'm kind of seeing it. Like I said, I don't have experience with breaks or anything like that, but I would just work on your own personal reasons for the breakup. You can't help her with for the reasons that she's broken up, or she's agreed to the break. Can't help her with her school stuff and her financial stuff, obviously, because the point is taking time alone. So I would just work on your own stuff and just check in with her where you can.
Yeah.
And like I said, make sure that you're fully equipped to deal with putting out the fire of the communication issues when you try and give it another go. I don't think that you shouldn't try and give it another go. I just think that you should make sure that you've got all the tools that you need when you want to do that. And you don't like they've spoken a bit like objectively about this, so I don't know if they're really struggling like emotionally with like missing the person or anything like that. But I mean, if you want to be with them and you do truly believe that like you can go back and figure everything out and that kind of thing, just keep that in mind. I know that we're very like, well, maybe it's just gonna be a breakup, but if it's gonna make you feel better to think that things are gonna work out, then things are gonna work out, because if you want them to, you're gonna do everything that you can, right? So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think that while you're doing this break, like do what you like remember why you took this break, and that reason is to like focus on the things that you need to focus on. So as much as like it like hurts and as much as it's going to be weighing on your mind constantly because you're going through this really confusing emotional time, try really hard to just like focus on you, do you, hang out with your friends, like just like go virtually, not in person, stay home, focus on the things you need to do, like get your head right so that like when you meet up again, like when you guys like have your like planned like date or like like we're gonna talk things out on this day or whatever,
that you're at your
when
best
you go
self.
into that, exactly, that you're at your best self and you have your priorities in check, like you know what you need from her, even write like a list of like like things that you're
cat is so cute. I can't. This is
figures being really cute. Just sorry, now I lost my train of thought. Just even make a list of things that you need from the relationship in order to make it work. Go into it prepared, basically. Go into
and just
it
remember
prepared.
Everything's working out best case scenario, even if it feels a bit yikes right now. Just remind yourself everything is working out best case scenario, which is what I think to myself. This cat is so oh my god.
I'm so sorry to everyone listening on like
so
the podcast and not watching this, but
oh my god, the cat's being very cute. Please follow us on YouTube. Really that is a cute cat. Oh my god.
If I'm not petting him, he starts petting me, basically. Okay, well, New Yorker, thank you so much for writing in. I'm sorry we don't have tons of experience with it. The one aspect of relationships we haven't really had too much time with, too much experience with, but we do really appreciate you writing in.
Best case scenario, you got this.
Yeah.
All right. Good
no
things
matter
are
what
coming
happens,
your way.
You'll be good. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay, so this one is
a hero.
I'm so
legend.
excited. I'm so excited to talk about this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, so this is from Gay Big Bird, which icon. So super excited. So he says, "Dear Love Twitches, I'll cut to the chase. I'm worried that I'm getting too attached to a fellow streamer. Over the past 2 years, I've accidentally interacted with Jay on a daily basis. I was content being just friends, and to be honest, I thought he was only straight up until a few months ago. But then I've somehow gotten myself into the situation I'm in now. I'm setting up for TwitchCon. Our plans had us staying with a group of our fellow Twitch friends in a big Airbnb. Initially, it started with a weird joke that like maybe only we would get, food together, see the beach. Are these good swimsuits? Is this a cute outfit? Exchanges of racy yet safe for work selfies. It goes on. What rooms is everyone staying in? There may not be enough beds. Would it be weird if we slept in the same one? And it keeps escalating.
This is the dream.
Keeps escalating.
Oh my God.
I want to clarify what's going on between us. He lives 2,330 miles away, and I
how far
doubt
is that,
that'll
by the way?
change
I don't know
anytime.
how distance works. Like, is that like West Coast, East Coast? How far is that?
I don't really know. I feel like that's like
Love Twitches learn geography. I'm like, is that top of England to bottom of England? Like, what is that?
Google Maps. Hold on. Let me see.
Google Maps. Like LA to
Los
like
Angeles.
New York.
Yeah, Los
What's
Angeles
that?
to New York is New York. Okay, so LA to New York is 2,790 miles.
Okay, so it's like coast to coast kind of.
Coast to coast kind of situation, yeah. Okay, where am I?
In before, like, one of them lives in LA and the other one lives in New York, and they get very scared that we've, like, clocked it. I promise you it's not that. It's just that I'm a dumb Australian and the only two cities I know are LA and New York.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue with the story.
I'm a dumb American. Those are the only two cities I know too. So, I doubt that'll change anytime soon. I fear we're doomed to be weird, distant, once a year booty calls. But for some reason, I want so much more. Do I start avoiding his streams so I can stop sighing wistfully? Can you help me shake this? Yours indecisively, Gay Big Bird.
I love you, Gay Big Bird. But first impression, I just want to say the freaking over the past 2 years, I've accidentally interacted with them on a daily basis. That is such a mood of like, hang on a minute, do I talk to? Wait a second, have I been talking every day?
Oh, whoops. I just happened to go every single one of their streams. Oops, that was an accident.
Oh, whoopsies. That's crazy. That's such a mood. Oh my god. Okay, so I mean, I just have to say, who says you're gonna be a booty call? Who says you're just gonna be a booty call? Maybe they'll actually like you, like properly. Like, just a thought. I'm just saying.
You're so optimistic. I love it.
I love people that you love. I want what Gay Big Bird has.
I just like, okay, from the sounds of what he's saying, there is like a fear here. Okay, on my part, there's a fear, and maybe this is just like something that I have like a general anxiety about, because I've been anxious about this. I've talked to you about my anxieties about this, but I fear that he might be like a little bit of a fuckboy.
Oh,
like,
right,
he
okay.
might be,
I was like, what anxiety? You have a lot of those. I don't.
Oh my god,
you do.
Yeah.
Welcome to our podcast.
No, like
but
that.
You're riddled with insecurities, aren't you? Huh?
You have to call me out like that. Oh my god. Jesus. Okay. Well, let's continue. I worry that he might be a fuckboy and he might be like kind of just looking for a hookup, which
right.
It sounds like that's Big Bird's concern as well. Is that Jay might just be looking to hook up with him instead of like actually.
Yeah, and I know that's a thing as well, because obviously they say that well, he says that he thought Jay was straight until now.
Yeah.
And obviously Jay isn't straight, but maybe it's one of those concerns. I know there is guys who are straight, but they'll like fuck around with gay guys, but then like not treat the gay guys right because of their own internalized like issues with their sexuality. Hopefully Jay doesn't seem to have any of that, or just or isn't closeted, but just you didn't realize he wasn't closeted. Well, that kind of thing. So hopefully that isn't a factor, but I can understand that anxiety.
Yeah. And there is like the whole like aspect of sexuality where it's like you can be like sexually attracted to someone, but like you know, not feel like you can like be romantically fulfilled. Like there's like a whole dynamic there as well.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he's coming on pretty strong.
Yeah,
I mean, suggesting that they share a bed together. I mean, especially in like a house full of other people. Like,
like
in
what
a
if
house
only
full of
we
friends,
went?
like,
Maybe only we got food together. Like,
like
that's cute as well. This is like cute,
it's so cute
stuff.
It's
like,
so cute. Gonna go hang
I love
out on a
TwitchCon
beach
romance
in San
stuff. I
Diego.
think it's the cutest. Like, ooh.
I was just gonna say, okay, oh my god, TwitchCon hookups. Oh my god.
The flavor
we could do like
is immaculate.
We could do a whole episode on this. Because I think it's so funny how my cat. Did you see him just hold my hand?
He's like, one moment, please. May I speak?
He's really cute. But I think it's so funny because it's like we have all of these social dynamics and relationships long distance, right? And then when TwitchCon comes around, they all come crashing together.
Yeah.
And it becomes this like TwitchCon has a reputation of kind of being a sex-fueled rampage for streamers.
It's because we've all been prepping for it for months. Like, I've done that. I've been someone who did that, where it's like 4 months beforehand, I was like, you, me, faces at TwitchCon, it's happening. And then it happened. Like, it's just the weirdest thing. Like, the pre-TwitchCon tension of it all.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. It's just like such an interesting dynamic.
I hope TwitchCon happens. Gay Big Bird, now I really want TwitchCon to happen. Before I just wanted it for my own sex-fueled reasons, but now I also want it for your sex-fueled reasons.
I just wanted to see my friends. I just want to see you, Harley.
Lame. I want to get piped or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna say. Okay. So, like, Big Bird, get that dick, man. Like get dick down. Get dicked down. Do it. Do you?
But maybe he wants to initiate more now. But like, he doesn't want to like ruin it.
I'm worried about the catching feelings part, because it's like I feel like you've all like, it sounds like you two already have this like sexy flirtation situation.
Yeah, maybe like an affectionate romantic flirtation, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And I think that like maybe if you are interested in a relationship, maybe you need to start adding in
starting to introduce the more like domestic-y relationship elements that aren't just texting in a racy fashion, you know, like hanging out or like that kind of thing. Deep conversations, go like talking about streaming and stuff, and like other interests and that kind of thing that aren't to do with like attraction.
Let's talk
flirting.
About your family.
Yeah, it's like normal talking. And if he isn't super receptive to that, I would take that as a red flag. And if you are fine with like just flirty racy stuff, then that's fine, but it sounds like you're not. So if for example the romantic introduction stuff doesn't work out, and genuinely you know in your heart of hearts that if you like hooked up with him at TwitchCon you'd just be like lost to feelings for months, because like been there, I get it sucks. I would say that it is I would say stopping going by his streams is a really good first move. It's very good to like help lose the feelings. And also muting like his Twitter or muting his Instagram is good. Just so like his posts don't come up on your feed or anything like that. And you can still like talk to him and stuff if you want to, but if you're trying to like lose feelings and distance yourself, I would say muting accounts and then like not going by his stream anymore is probably like the move. You can come by his stream sometimes if you, because like you have a bunch of mutual friends, you don't even think that you're mad at him, but stop.
And especially when you've been talking like this for so long,
it'd be kind of awkward. Just go like
if someone just like if someone just like cut me off and like stopped replying and stuff, I would be like, what did I do? You know? And so I would suggest like just trying to like start some more like intimate conversations, like where you're like talking about like real life stuff, and pay
a lot of attention to like how much he reciprocates that and that kind of thing. You don't need to start saying like, what if we dated and like we're a long distance relationship forever, yay, haha, unless, but
JK.
But like just starting to introduce the more intimate, less constantly flirty bits, I think.
And I think that I also want to say that it's okay, like they're not a bad person if they just want to hook up, like that's okay, but you also want to make sure that they're not, you know, like it's okay to be a fuckboy, but like the bad part of being a fuckboy is leading people on to believe that you want more from them than you really do.
Like if he only wants to be your friend and be a bit racy with you, that's not necessarily a bad thing in itself.
Or if he just like wants to fuck but he doesn't want a relationship, like that's not a bad thing either. Just make sure that those like are like, that's clear, you know?
And make sure that whatever you're doing with him is you're not subjecting yourself to less than what you truly want, if that makes sense. Like don't be like, well, this is the best I can get, I'll do it, because like it just will hurt you in the long run.
I've definitely bent myself backwards too, because I really liked someone and I thought that like
affection,
if I just like, you know, play it cool and I'm like the cool girl that's
I'm a cool girl, I don't even mind, we could take a week to respond to me, it's totally cool, like it's still totally so cool.
I've definitely like, you know, bent myself over backwards trying to like, you know, fit into this mold of what they wanted, hoping that then they would see how amazing I am and would want to date me, and like, they'll catch feelings for me, and that
bitch,
just
know
doesn't
your
happen.
worth. No.
Exactly. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Realize what you want.
But
keep that in mind.
So our immediate advice isn't just go like cold turkey off him. Our advice is try and incorporate some more Romo stuff in, because I know it would like, and just see where it goes from there, and then start worrying about like, oh no, what if we're on a long distance and it's unfulfilling? Like just start optimistically, and if he's a fuckboy-ish, distance.
I also would like to mention that I know of a long distance relationship from the United States to Australia that worked out, and they got married like last year. So like there's ways to being in a long distance relationship is not a death sentence, you know. It's not like it'll never work out, you know. So you know, it's not the worst thing, even if it takes a few years, you know. It'll be hard,
if it's the right person,
the worst thing ever.
Like, I'm very pro long distance relationships. I know Nova is less so, not as much, but like I think Nova's
for myself.
No, Nova is for herself. She's like, I want someone like within the country at least, whereas I'm like, I don't even care.
I want someone like within my town. It's so stupid. I've been, my last two relationships were both long distance relationships, and I've pretty much like sworn off of it altogether. And if I ever got into a long distance relationship again, which God, I hope I don't, but you know, the heart wants what it wants, but if I ever did, I would want like a set date,
a set date of like when this will end, of like when I'm gonna move in with you, or like when I'm gonna move to where you are, and that kind of thing. That makes sense.
100%.
But good luck, Gay Big Bird. We love you. Go for it. Is the
you.
general vibe. Go for it.
You got this, man. We believe in you. We're rooting for you, and we want an invitation to the wedding.
Okay, so here we have this one that Nova knows exactly what this says, and I'm just clocking onto it now. So here we have John Wick writing in, and he says,
Did you see his pronouns?
Oh, his pronouns are he-man.
He-man.
John Wick says, attention, thirsty Twitch simps. Novalisi is single and she needs your help to wipe out all the feelings of loneliness. But to do this, she needs a diamond ring and a couple of brand new gaming PCs. To help her, all she needs is your credit card number, the 3 wacky numbers on the back, and expiration month and year. But you gotta be quick so that Novalisi can secure the simp and achieve the epic victory royale. Thank you so much, John Wick, bringing to attention what needs to be said in these hard times. It's easy to lose sight of what's important. Yes, Nova.
I would like to mention that he says a couple brand new.
Yeah, there's a couple of brand new.
Like, I need multiple.
I need 5 new game PCs, or it's not serious.
I need several. I need one in each room in my house.
Like a Google Home. You just need a PC in every room of the house. Christ almighty.
I need one for each different game that I want to play. You know, this is my Skyrim PC.
You don't want to have to unplug your capture card when you're streaming those kind of games, so you just want it to be immediately in. So you have your capture card PC and it's just always in.
I would love to have it always in.
Anyway,
Ayo.
This isn't the 18 plus section yet, Nova. Jesus.
John Wick, thank you so much for writing in. Thank you for supporting me. You know, I feel really supported by this message. I feel like you really get me.
Yeah,
you get what I'm
PCs.
looking for. Are you offering? I mean, it sounds like you really understand me, and maybe we have a good connection. So
this is you're in. John Wick did it. John Wick dated streamer. Incredible.
And if you look anything like Keanu Reeves, like, honey,
it's on. All right,
it's on,
so
like Donkey Kong.
Next we have Sad Bean in Scared-ville, whomst I love. Like, this person immediately reminds me of Dylan for some reason. So now I'm just imagining Dylan in my head, and I'm like, I'm gonna look after you.
Dill Pixel, if anyone doesn't know.
Yeah, Dill Pixel _ He's a good friend of ours. All right, so
he's a sweet boy.
He's a sweet boy. So this is Sad Bean writing in saying, as someone who has spent a long time really just dunking on themselves and thinking they're ugly / unwantable / generally shitty in the past, I find male guilt or some kind of social onus to be better has paralyzed me when it comes to expressing any attraction towards a woman, usually in a night out context. I just default assume I must be a creep and I'm going to make them uncomfortable / upset. Moreover, the social pressure to be the one who takes the lead and has to be confident puts me in a compromising position where I'm either doing something or nothing's happening. I feel like playing the more coy role is off-putting to women, not to mention too passive maybe? Should I ignore all these fierce pressures and just go for it? Or define my masculinity and be a cutie shy boy? I've locked down my sense of inner beauty. I'm adorable AF. Love that. But that kind of stuff takes time to shine, and in the short term, I don't think I've got nearly as much going for me. To specify, I've had female friends in the past who have experienced sexual assault and similar problems, and I've seen firsthand how much it affects someone, and that has 100% influenced this mentality. Thank you for writing in, Sad Bean. You sound like an angel. I'm endeared to you already.
Angel boy. Angel boy.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts, Nova?
So first of all, it does, like, I want to say that it does suck that the onus is on men to approach women first. That does suck. I think that it, you know, hopefully, idealistically, I think that like things are becoming more even ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like in my daily life, I'm very like, I'll go for the guy first. Like, I don't really mind that much. You are kind of a rock star. I kind of identify with shy boy a lot. Obviously, like, I'm a girl, so I have like the luxury of like not having to, like, you know,
go after people that much.
And there's less like
I,
social pressure of the whole him worrying he comes off like a creep or a predator or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's absolutely true. So I feel for you. I feel for you a lot. Also, I don't think that there is anything wrong with being a shy boy. Like I don't think that is wrong at all. I think you should absolutely be yourself. I don't think that you should change yourself to try to like be more like desirable to
I say
people.
that the coy role, I wouldn't go with that if I was you. I mean, girls kind of, how do I explain this? Not emotionally immature girls, but like lots of girls love when like the guy is aloof and an asshole because we just value their time more highly than someone who's always around. I've made a tweet about this before, but it's basically like if someone seems aloof and unavailable, we want them to pay attention to us more because we're like, oh, we're special. They're so busy and important, but they pay attention to me. But then that's actually quite damaging and not good. So it's, doing like a coy, aloof role isn't great. But from the sounds of it, when you say like you're like worried you're too passive, it's more of a you're just kind of shy and that's just kind of how you are. So that's different, I think.
And I think that there's definitely, so how do you like being approached as a woman from men in bars,
like in a bar setting? Oh gosh. I don't, because I've been picked up several times at nightclubs and
successfully.
Like one time, oh my god, there was the slickest. I'm gonna tell you the slickest story. Sad bean. Don't use this because don't smoke. But the slickest way I've ever been picked up is a guy came up to me. And he asked me if I had, like, I was standing in the smoking area. I wasn't smoking, I was just standing in the smoking area. And he was like, hey, have you got a lighter? And I was like, oh, no, sorry. And he was like, oh, okay. And then lit his cigarette himself and, like, started smoking and started talking to me. And I was like, that was so slick and fun. I enjoyed that thoroughly. So it was so good.
That's actually so cute.
Yeah, so that was really good. But, geez, I don't know. I feel... This is going to sound so lame, but genuinely what I really like, because I'm into guys that are kind of, like... I'm into bottoms. Like, I'm just into, like, really cute, shy guys. Like, I just am. I think they're lovely. And I genuinely would like it if a guy came up and was like, hey, I've been seeing you around the club, and I just want to say, like, I think you're really pretty, and I just wanted to talk to you. Like, and, like, maybe buy you a drink, maybe, and, like, introduce myself. Like, as cheesy as that might sound, I would love that. That's me. That's my favorite way of being picked up. I hate when a guy comes up to me and, like, immediately... like is overly friendly with me or anything. I like it very much when they acknowledge like, hi, you don't know me, but like I just think that you look really lovely and I just want to talk to you. I think that's great. So that's my way of like being picked up.
Yeah, that's like what I have written down here is like in a bar or something, like in a public place. I would say like, can I buy you a drink? Like that, like just the classic, like, and then she can be like, and then it's like also like the easiest way to let someone down as well as being like, no, I'm good. Like I'm not really drinking. And then you're like, okay, that's kind of like a rejection.
Yeah. And it's good to just like also be like, hi, I'm Sad Bean. Can I buy you a drink? Like introduce yourself a little bit fast, that kind of thing. And yes, she might be that dick girl who gets the drink and then leaves, but that is a risk that we all take. I'm so sorry. Hopefully she won't do that.
That is a risk. And then at a party, one of my favorite ways to like talk to someone at a party, like if you're in like a social environment with like your friends or your friend circle or something, I always like to ask, who are you here with? Or like who do you know here?
Oh yeah, like how do you know the host and that kind of thing. Yeah, and you can talk about them and then ease into talking about the girl. Yeah, and then it's like, and it just comes off as friendly. Like it's not like you're like really flirting at the at that stage, talking. And then you can kind of ease into it. Yeah. And with the whole worrying that you come off in like a predatory fashion, so what I would say is like, yes, do ignore the prison pressures and go for it, because yes, there definitely women are like very on guard on nights out and that kind of thing, but to a degree, we can sense when someone is being weird. Like we have like, this isn't to say if a girl gets like creeped on, it's her fault from like picking up the signs or whatever. That's not the case. But we are like on guard and that kind of thing, and we usually have red flags that we look out for. And if you are genuinely being authentic and yourself, and you sound like a sweetheart, if you're just generally being yourself, none of those red flags are going to come out, and we're not going to see any of them, and we're just going to like think that you're a nice guy because you are. So I would just trust in women's intuition basically with that, and try and leave behind the social stigma as best as you can. The fact that you're aware of it is really good, because it means that you are going to try and navigate around and not go for like what everyone says it's totally cool for guys to do. So yeah, and just try really hard to, I say this like time and time again, the whole like, I must be a creep, I'm gonna make them uncomfortable. They're not thinking that. They're not carrying with them all the like pressure and insecurity that you are. so they're not going to project onto you any of that because they're not present, they're not conscious of it at all, if that makes sense.
I would also like to suggest Bumble. I don't know how you feel about
Bumble's
dating
lovely.
apps,
I think Bumble's great.
Bumble,
of all the dating apps, I like Bumble.
If you don't know what Bumble is, sad boy, Bumble is basically like Tinder, or any other dating app where you
Not
swipe,
sponsored, by the way.
left.
Bumble sponsor us.
So swipe left or right. Oh my god, that'd be a great.
That'd be a good sponsor. Yeah.
I'm gonna reach. I'll reach out. People will contact their people. But Bumble, you swipe left or right on profiles, and then if you get a match, so if you're in like a hetero way, like if you're a man searching for a woman, the woman will have to message you first. And she has 24 hours to message you first. So that's how you kind of like know that like she's like legit, like she actually wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because like Tinder has that, and I'm guilty of it, where like if someone reaches out, like messages me first on Tinder, there's like it's like a second wave of like, do I actually want to talk to this person? And so she'll message you first, and then you can respond to that and go that. So it kind of takes the pressure off of you to come up with like a witty one-liner and like stuff like that. So I would suggest Bumble, especially if you're concerned about approaching people in person. Maybe do it that way. And then also just like meeting people through your friends. Maybe like not talking to complete strangers.
And then you won't have to worry about seeming creepy or anything like that, because for example, if I was a girl or a guy, even I know guy friends do the same thing. And my friend, you vouch for them. You're like, oh no, I know Sad, being like, he's a cool guy, like he's chill, like he's fine, and they would warn a girl if you were creepy. So but we do. And I would say yes, ignore the pressures, go for it. And just be yourself with like the little soft boyness. And I like that you say that, it's hard for that to shine in the short term, but there are ways for you to do that. Like if you very humbly approach someone and be like, hi, I'm so and so, I think you're nice.
I love a humble man.
Yeah, I love a humble man. There are girls out there who are like really gonna appreciate that, because I'm one of them. So don't worry, you got this. It's under control. You seem lovely and very considerate. So I believe in you, and it's good that you're conscious of it. But try really hard to just remove the male guilt. Because I know it's a term that's used a lot by people that try and like shit all over feminism or whatever, to be like, we're destroying men's mentalities, but it is like a very like, it's just very like the patriarchy is very damaging to men and has caused this like awful social pressure on them and that kind of thing. So it's good that you're aware of it. It is definitely a thing. Male guilt is like definitely a thing. So it's good that you're aware of it and that kind of thing. And I believe in you. That's my closing point.
We believe you can do this. We want to invite to the wedding.
Yes. Of the girl you meet in the nightclub. You're like, hi, sorry, I have to get married to you. These girls on a podcast that I like have to. Oh my god. The deal.
Okay. Yeah, they should say like do that. Can someone do that, please?
Wait,
someone who's listening right now, have the balls to go up to someone and be like, "Hey, I listened to this podcast and they told me that I need to ask you out."
I'd be like, "Shut up!" I'd be like, "You're telling this to every girl."
Yeah, and
what about
it? They'd be like, what podcast? And then I'd be like, oh, it's the Love Twitches.
To be fair, I think it would be cute if I was in
marketing.
We had an episode a while ago where someone was talking about this girl Emma that they're friends with, they had a crush on, and they wanted to like sort of escalate it to like the romantic level. If I had a situation like that and we've been dating for like a couple of months, and then the person said to me like, hey, when I first liked you, I wrote into this actually like agony aunt podcast and I asked for advice, I would love that, and then you could listen to it together. So it would be so cute. Anyway.
It would be adorable, and it would be free marketing for us. So
we love that. Go do it. So yeah. Right. Nova,
okay, so we're going to move on to Dumpling. And I just want to, I read this entire thing. I want you guys to know that I read this entire thing.
We read all of them,
and we read all of them. And it's like a full like page and a half long. And so I have made the executive decision to summarize it. But and they kind of gave me a like too long didn't read thing as well. But I want you to know that I read it thoroughly. But I'm just going to kind of summarize it for the sake of the podcast.
And I'm going to look at the long bit and everything while we're talking. So I will take into consideration what is there. But just for the listeners, we're going to summarize.
So Yes. So, this person is 19 years old. This guy's 19 years old, and had a 3-year long relationship. So they were 16 when they got together, right? Like they were in high school when they got together.
Okay.
And now he's in college and he's single. They broke up I think over the summer, and they're not together anymore. And so he is now trying to get back out there. Kind of trying to date again, and he's gone on Tinder, gone on a few dates with a couple different girls that he met on Tinder, but he's having trouble finding a real connection with someone after dating the same girl since high school. It's a new territory. So he's going on dates with complete strangers for the very first time, and he's also having trouble finding people that have common interests with him.
Okay, yeah, I see. He says one girl he went on a date with was more into him than he was into her, and he turned it down because the interest differed too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for him, we were talking earlier about interests and stuff in dating and having different interests from your partner, but this guy, it's very important to him to have someone who has common interests like gaming and anime, which is totally cool. And his main question here is, and this is just verbatim, I'm going to read this. So he says, my question for you guys is, am I being too picky? Are there other platforms for me to try on? He's using Tinder right now. I kind of get exhausted putting a lot of time and effort into dating girls that I know I won't end up with. Also, not wanting to waste anyone's time here. Are there ways or apps to find people with common interests like that? Should I change my appearance more to perhaps attract girls that I would have common interests with? I'm quite new to dating, and I've heard so much bad advice from friends and didn't work out. So yeah.
Okay, well, just very quick off the bat, I'm just going to answer one of those questions so quickly. Should I change my appearance more to perhaps easier attract girls that would have common interests? No, don't do that. Don't at all. Only ever style yourself the way that you personally enjoy styling yourself. Don't ever try and change it for a certain reason like that. Just keep styling yourself the way that you do. It's fine. Unless you're not showering or something, which I don't think you are. I'm sure you're showering. Don't worry about it.
I would
I
have differing opinion. No, I
do
don't have problems with showering, but I do have a slight different opinion.
Ooh,
where
okay.
I think that it's obviously like clothing and what you wear is such a unique way of expressing yourself, and you should absolutely do that. But I also think that it's worth it. I don't think that, because I think that especially in the gaming community, fashion isn't very important to a lot of people, and that can be okay, but I also would suggest maybe looking into it, because I think that there is a lot of misconstrued fashion ideas that men specifically have, and but women too. Everyone can. I
mean, I can't tell what he's saying when he says she changes appearance more, because I don't know what his current appearance is. Because I'm if you want to attract girls that like gaming and anime, and you're asking, do I change my appearance more? I don't know what you would then change your appearance to, unless you're just gonna wear that Zelda t-shirt and the cargo shorts. I don't know. But
that's what I was gonna say. Is that like cargo shorts? I talk about it on my stream all the time.
Yeah.
Do not wear cargo shorts.
Yeah. But I don't think he's starting from there. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
If you had a girl, if you've been dating someone for a few years and they've probably maybe helped you for your style.
Yeah, I mean, because personally, I'm into so I again, this, I mean, you're writing into us. We're gonna give you our advice. So me personally, I have a very specific style and guys I'm attracted to. I'm very attracted to kind of vintage styling, basically. I don't like modern, what is modern and fashionable for guys. I don't find that attractive, and I like very vintage kind of plain simple styling. So that's what I like, but I also mainly like gamer guys, and these two obviously don't go together. I'm sure you understand like a common interest kind of way, but you want them to like you for you, so I don't think you should change your appearance unless you need more personal. I
absolutely agree. Do not change your appearance to
attract people to try and fit into the niche of what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Don't change yourself for someone else.
Yeah.
But if you don't feel confident, I think that's my biggest point. Is that
Yeah,
if you
if
don't
you-
feel confident in the way that you wear or the way that you look in your clothes, and you feel like you just aren't attractive in the clothes that you wear, then it's worth it to look into, you know, fashion and styling.
Yeah, but don't be
Queer
like, oh, what do
Eye
gamer
on
girls like?
Netflix.
I'll dress like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, don't do that. But okay.
But for fashion, I just want to say Queer Eye on Netflix has amazing advice. So if you're interested, do it. It's very, very good, I promise. Anyways,
so I mean, I don't if dating someone who's into anime and gaming is really important to you, that's totally fair, and like that's your own prerogative of your own choice and that kind of thing. Personally, I would ask myself a little bit. I'd be like, well, why is that really important to me? Like, is it that important to me? Is it I'm worried I won't have anything else to talk about? Because for example, like me, I'm a huge history nerd. Like I'm a gigantic history nerd. But I've never dated anybody who's a gigantic history nerd. So I just like sate my history nerd interests in other ways, and I talk to people that I date about other things, because just like chemistry is more important for me. So I would make sure that you're definitely not using that as an excuse to write off people that you have good chemistry with. And I mean, that's what I would say in terms of like, are you being too picky? Not necessarily. Just make sure that you want someone who likes the same stuff as you do for the right reasons, and you aren't just using it as an excuse to like bat people off and that kind of thing, or that you're just like resorting to these are the only two things I can talk about. This is the only aspect of my personality, kind of thing. I mean, obviously the guy like doesn't have an issue getting girls necessarily, because he's like had a couple of dates and that kind of thing that he talks about. But you know, like I was like a cheeky anime shirt from time to time, which is cute. I don't know about I don't know about platforms. For platforms, I'd say like one like Bumble is good, or Hinge, because they let you put in your interests like in the little question section.
I haven't used Hinge myself, but my roommate uses it, and she says it's amazing. It's like her favorite app. So yeah, or like just putting in your bio.
Yeah, it's putting in your bio, and then
just talking about that and like looking for people who also have stuff like that
in their bio. Yeah, because I'm sure that they would like. I always have like that I'm a gamer and like my dating bio if I ever am on a dating app. I don't know about
actually don't do that.
So. Oh really? You don't?
I hide it. I don't tell anyone I'm a streamer.
Oh, I'm super like authentic, like off the bat. I'm like, hey, this is me. I'm basically just like an angrier version of Lisa Simpson in real life. Like I'm just a big gamer nerd girl.
That's fair. That's fair. I would also say that like Tinder burnout is like a real thing. Like this person.
I was like, what's Tinder burnout? Is this a new section?
So this person has, I don't know if this is like a coined phrase, but like this person has gone on several dates with several different people. I have done that. I feel like most of us go through this when we use Tinder. Is you go on a few dates with people, and then you get tired of like asking and answering the same questions
small
over
talk,
and over and over, and you just don't feel like there's a connection, and you don't have that spark, and they don't look like their pictures, and like it's just like you just get bummed out and you want to give up and just like undownload it, you know, just delete the app. And so I've always been a big dating app user. I've used it like for like years, you know, but recently I've come to terms with like this issue that I've been having, and I've realized that like my best connections were like people that I've met in person. And so I'm actually like staying away from dating apps altogether to like in order to like foster like organic
I always get overwhelmed by them, and I could always tell like because I type the way that I talk always, and I never have any like walls or put up a front of any kind. So I would text people on dating apps, and I would be so bored, and I'd be like, I know I'm not gonna get along with you in person, like there's no point here. So
it's so difficult to like make conversation with people.
It's hard.
It's so I like when I would go on dating apps, I like to have like maybe one conversation with them, and then I make a date. I'm like I would just like straight up ask them out and be like, okay, let's go get
Nova's
drinks
pretty.
tomorrow.
She can do that. I gotta hide behind my selfies. Gotta make you like my personality first, and then you can't run.
Aren't you? You're gorgeous, dude. Like, what are you talking about? You're drop dead gorgeous, and you ask people out in person. Okay, I don't do that. That's fucking scary. Okay, you have to be top notch pretty to ask people out in person. Holy
Nothing
shit!
to lose.
I stay away from that. I stay away from that. I am terrified of rejection. So if they ghost me and never talk to me again, then like I can live with that, you know. That's happened. But so I make up a date, or I set a date, so that way I don't have to keep coming up with reasons to talk to them on the app. And then we can just talk
in terms of apps you can use to find people that have more common interests with you, I would say the move might be like like communities, like Discord communities. Like, I mean, I'm sure you know gaming communities and anime communities. Like, I'm sure you know them. Just you can meet cute girls through those. They just like happen to be in the community. You're like, oh, you're cute, and like that. Like that's how I would do it personally. I guess that's how I usually get my crushes and that kind of thing. Isn't through dating apps. It's through like shit. Why are you laughing? Twitch is a dating site. Red Witchery 2020. But yeah, rather than coming at things from a dating angle, because I've never liked coming at things directly from a dating angle, because then you've got like the pressure on you of like, we are going to be attracted to each other and go on a date. Whereas if you just make friends in communities and like naturally organically develop a connection with someone there, that's nice.
Yes. Yeah. And I think just I also want to say that there is no pressure, like there's no time limit on this. Like you don't need a girlfriend right now, you know. Like I get that you like want one, you want that relationship and stuff, but also like, you know, feel free to take your time, you know. I'm glad that you're not you know, trying. I'm glad that you're being picky.
You're not forcing stuff that's not gonna work. I'm very like, if there's no chemistry, I'm like, this isn't good, I'm gonna drop this and not waste my time with it. But
it's good to be picky. It's good to you know, be conscious of that and not just like, you know, any girlfriend will do, you know. So I'm proud of you for doing that. And but also, you know, like the best way to find people who have common interests with you, in my opinion, is like talking to your friends and meeting their friends. And like I will say this till the day I die, like just like meeting people in your social circle or extending your social circle, that can be hugely helpful. And then also like Twitch and Discord community. I don't know,
maybe.
I don't know.
So yeah, we would say don't change your appearance unless like personally you have an issue with the way that you're styling yourself. Bumble or Hinge or apps that let you fill in questions and stuff like that are really good. Also just like when you're talking to someone on Tinder or Bumble or whatever, like from the jump figure out if they like gaming, anime or not. It can be just like a really casual question, and then if you really wanted someone who likes one of those things, like you can just very easily be like, this isn't quite working out, sorry, you know, like waste your time with it. So yeah, and be picky. It's fine, you only want life. Like you want to connect with someone that like certain things, like that's fine. It's okay to want particular things. That's my take.
Well, thank you very much, Dumpling. You precious cutie patootie. You are going to find your person, and I believe in you. Yeah. Slay 'em.
So,
do you want to read this last one?
Yeah, sure. So for the last one for today, we have Clumsy Crusher, and she says, I have a problem. I know it, my friends know it, my partner knows it. I crush and I crush hard. Despite my super committed relationship to my partner, I fall for other people at the drop of a hat. Ever heard that song Clumsy by Fergie? That might as well be my theme song. My friends tell me it's normal and fine to have other crushes, as long as I don't act on it, but my mouth and my brain don't get along very well. Most of the time, I don't even realize that I'm flirting, to the point where my friends just expect it. My partner is used to it, they don't feel bothered, but that can't be good, you know? That I'm always blushing and stuttering about other people. I feel guilty every time I notice myself, and yet it keeps going. Why am I such a flirt, and why does it take someone flirting back to actually make me backpedal and realize I've gone too far? So Nova's a Libra, so she's going to have an excellent perspective on this. Nova.
I was thinking about adding that to our Google form, zodiac signs.
Zodiac signs? We're just collecting some research. Are you a Libra, Clumsy Crusher? Is there a Libra on your chart somewhere? You can Libra moon. You can tell us. It's okay.
So I think everyone knows I'm a chronic flirt. I love flirting. I'm a big flirter. I'll admit it. I like flirting with people. I think it's fun. And I like attention, so it works out. Attention. But I've also like I've never cheated. And I don't think I ever will cheat. It's just like not something that's like in my bones. And so I don't think that being a flirt means that you're gonna cheat. But I also want to like I kind of want to pick apart some of the wording in here. So first of all, you say fall for people. So that
like, do you straight up like a crush on them? Like there's a difference I think between flirting with people but not having a crush on them. But if you have a crush on other people, that sounds I mean, no, what were you thinking with that?
Yeah, no, exactly. Because I'll flirt with my friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'll, like, you know, I'll, like, comment on my friends' selfies and be like, oh, my God, let me go down on you. But, like, there's, you know, and that's, like, a joke, you know, but I also have, like, an established, it's an established.
Haha, funny.
Unless. So it's a joke and I have an established friendship with that person where they understand that I'm joking, and it's like, you know, all that stuff. However, I wouldn't say that I actually would be interested in doing that. Like, I'm not actually interested in hooking up with that person. I don't have a crush on them. I just like, I'm flirting and joking with them, you know?
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely a difference between that and like falling for people. Whereas like for example, like work wives, work husbands and stuff like those are like really common examples of this, where it's like you can, you know, it's like I it might be a controversial opinion, but like I think that with like a, you know, a certain level of discretion, you can have subtle flirts, you know, with people, but just like know that there is a line and you shouldn't cross it. And if your partner is saying that they're fine with it and they're not bothered with it, it may be because they are afraid of losing you.
Yeah, they may be like underplaying this to themselves and be like, it's not worth destroying a relationship over. She's only flirting. Like, it's not, it makes me uncomfortable, but it's not worth making a huge kerfuffle about. Yeah, I mean, I am very monogamous. Like, I'm so bad that, like, if I have a crush on somebody, I can't have more than one crush at once, because I'm too like, no, I got my crush, that's my crush.
I don't like talking to multiple people at the same time. Yeah, that's true.
I'm very monogamous, but from the sounds of what you're saying, you sound like you're polyamorous to me. If you're full on falling for other people while you're in a relationship, it sounds like you're polyamorous. That doesn't mean that you have to start having a polyamorous relationship, especially if your partner is not also polyamorous or wouldn't be comfortable with that. Like, it's a weird line of like, because I know that when I was more immature, for sure, if I was dating somebody and they wanted to be poly and I didn't, to avoid losing them, like Nova says, I would probably go along with it, even though deep down I wasn't okay with it. So yeah, I would look into polyamory and that kind of thing, and resources people who are polyamorous, because that sounds a bit like what you might be if you are having straight up crushes and like falling for people. But personally, as a very monogamous person, if my partner was behaving like in those ways, I would probably be really uncomfortable with it and I wouldn't like it. Just because, but I don't think it's a thing necessarily that you like, I mean, if I think you talk to your partner about it, and if your partner is sincerely like, I am uncomfortable with it, then I think you need to stop and respect your partner and respect the people that you're flirting with as well. Because say you flirt with someone, have a crush on them, whatever, and they have a crush on you back, you're kind of leading them on, because nothing's going to come of it, you know? Or they're like, or this is like normalizing basically the prelude to cheating. I'm not saying you are going to cheat, but to that person, they are like about to cheat if they know that you have a partner and they're still flirting with you and stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And there's also like a level of emotional cheating as well.
Yeah,
you know, it's
for
like,
sure.
Like, I think it's okay to be like, oh damn, you look good today. You know,
Yeah.
like I think that's like something that's like a bit more harmless. But like to be like texting someone on the sly,
yeah,
or
like sending them
just
pictures and like cutesy stuff. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I think there's a difference from being like I feel like there's such a difference between public and private too.
Yeah,
because I think that there is like some subtle flirts that are okay in public, you know, like for example, if your friend comes around, you're like, damn, look at you look good today.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know. And then but if I texted them like after hanging out with them and I was like, hey, I just want to say that you looked really good today, you know, like I feel like there is like such a like difference between those different two.
Energy. I do disagree with your friends a little bit. They're clumsy when they say that it's normal. I think it's normal to flirt and it's normal to find other people attractive, but I don't think if you are identifying as a monogamous person, I don't think it is normal to get straight up like falling for several other people consistently. Yeah, that's normal for a polyamorous person, but yeah. So that's what I think that having like catching feelings for another person, that's different. It's different from like having a crush. Like just finding someone attractive is fine. But like catching feelings for someone or like or just like, you know, like fantasizing about another person, I think that I would draw the line at that. Yeah. And maybe make sure that you're happy in your current part. Like if you've always been like this, then okay. But if this is only happening with this one partner that you have, maybe look into if there are ways that are not fulfilling you, or if you just are like getting a bit complacent and not enjoying the relationship as much. But if you're always like this, then like ignore that bit, and that it's not relevant to your partner. So I would just be maybe just like do some digging on yourself, and just communicate very openly with your partner, I would say. On what is going to make you happy and the most fulfilled, because like
if you're polyamorous, then you should bring that up with your partner potentially, and have a conversation about, you know, maybe like opening things up a little bit, and, you know, see how they would feel about that.
Yeah, and like generally figure out their genuine feelings towards it. And like I said, they may be underplaying it and thinking it's not worth losing her over. It's only a little thing, but it's important to you, obviously, because you're writing about it. So
yeah. But also she could be telling the truth, and she could be like totally okay with it.
Yeah.
And, you know,
in which case maybe make it a poly or open relationship, and just make sure you're establishing the healthiest boundaries that you can. Again, there are resources for that sort of thing. Yeah. That's what I would say. Good luck with everything, though. You sound like a sweetie. They're all sounded like sweeties. We love all of you. Come here.
I love everyone.
Give us a little kiss on the cheek, just the one.
Love it. Okay. Well, thank you, Clumsy Crusher, for writing in. I really appreciate it. Thank you for trusting us.
And thank you all of our listeners for listening in to the gossip.
Thank you.
Yeah, eventually
for being here.
Yeah, eventually we'll have a consistent like uploading schedule, and we'll have the days and stuff to tell you when to expect us. But for now, my Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch are all Red Witchery. Hers are all Novalisi, and we have a YouTube channel called The Love Twitches, where we upload the videos of the podcast. You might be watching on it right now. And yeah, every couple of weeks we release a Google form on either of our Twitters for you guys to write in and tell us your stories and give you advice on it. Any other sign-offs you want to do, Nova?
I'm just really excited. This is our first week. First week is done.
I really hope people like it. Imagine if no one likes it.
I really hope so. If you do like it, please like leave a comment.
Please tell us. We have no idea.
Like and subscribe. I need those words of affirmation. I need to know that y'all are enjoying this. If there's something that you didn't like, feel free to discuss it. If you have different opinions, if you want to offer advice or whatever, you know, we'd love to hear it. So thank you for listening in. Thanks for supporting us. And we'll catch you on the flippity flip. Yeah.
Have a magical day, everybody. We'll see you later.
Have a magical day. Bye. Oh, it's so cute. Bye.